Good evening and welcome to Mustang Field here in South Apopka for Week 10 of Season 18. My name is Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs and Sports Information Director here at Wekiva High School. I'm joined by Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief. And Neil, before we got started today, we had to kind of go back and forth like, wait a minute, what week are we on again? Is it week 9, week 10, week 11? Turns out there's actually 12 weeks of the season now since the FHSAA extended the season and the maximum date. And that gives these two teams an opportunity to maybe change their fortunes, turn their tide. Both of these teams have had a rough start to their season, looking for some wins, looking for some momentum going into the postseason, because if we're completely honest, power rankings are probably not going to get them a wild card spot. They really need to perform well in districts, and both of these teams have a case to make that they have not yet made compellingly so far this year.
So thank you, Mark, for that introduction. As always, an excellent job. Of course, tonight it is not only senior night, but homecoming. Also homecoming night. And, of course, tonight's opponent, Lake Howell, real quickly, they are 1-7 coming into today's game. Their lone victory was against Harmony, a 41-18 victory on September 20th. And they've certainly taken a drop after a pair of 6-4 records the previous two seasons. Of course, Wekiva, just one more victory at 2-5, their lone victories against Eustis and Horizon. As you said, Mark, you summed it up, Beth, a chance for them to at least somewhat minimize that it's been a long season feeling. So in the meantime, we are down to 0 on the clock, and we will get more into their talk more about Lake Howell. Of course, one quick note, Lake Howell coached by Dazzy Morris. That's a name that should be familiar to Apopka High School fans, just 5 miles up the road. He not only was a graduate of Apopka High School, but also a member of the 2012 state championship team playing offensive line. So, Mark, let's get started for homecoming and senior night.
Good evening, everyone. Wekiva High School welcomes you to Mustang Field for Week 10 of Season 18. Here at Mustang Field, please welcome our guests from Lake Howell High School. They are the Silver Hawks. And they'll be taking on your Wekiva High School Mustangs. And it is a beautiful evening here in South Apopka, so we are delighted to welcome back for our pregame festivities, unimpeded by rain and inclement weather, your Mustang Marching Band. Before they lead us in the national anthem, though, we invite you to please stand as we honor America with a presentation of colors by the cadets of Wekiva High School's Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Program. Tonight's detail is under the command of Cadet Tech Sergeant Kayla Davis, carrying the U.S. flag. Carrying the Florida State flag is Cadet Senior Airman Luis Hernandez. And the Rifle Guards are Cadet Senior Airman Maya Walker and Cadet First Lieutenant James Rabinick. And then we invite you to remain standing for the playing of our national anthem, performed tonight by the Pride of Wekiva, your Mustang Marching Band. Once again, the pride of Wekiva, your Mustang Marching Band, and the cadets of the Wekiva High School Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. This is a Week 10 contest between the Lake Howell Silverhawks and your Mustangs, and we will be getting the teams onto the field right now. Beginning with our guests, please welcome them, the Lake Howell Silverhawks. And they'll be taking on your Wekiva High School Mustangs. Right on cue. And we'll now invite our team captains and officials to take midfield for the coin toss.
Okay, so we're just a few minutes away from getting started. Of course, as you heard, Mark Barchi, my on-air partner, is also the public address announcer here at Wekiva High School. As soon as they clear the field, the marching band that is, we will get the coin toss. And once again, as we started before, we got our pregame festivities started. A matchup between two teams that have had a long season, 3 wins combined. Lake Howell coming in at 1-7, Wekiva 2-5.
As our team captains and officials take midfield for the coin toss, we'll take this opportunity to recognize our officials for tonight's game. The referee is Daryl Royal, umpire Kevin Wright, linesman Joshua Himes, line judge Reginald Timothy, back judge Jordan Durham, and clock operator LaDonna Royal.
Of course, see who wins this toss. Other quick note. Wekiva is the favorite coming into tonight's game. They not only have won one more game, but certainly playing a much more difficult schedule than Lake Howell. Both teams, though, however, have lost to Oviedo in Evans by over 3 touchdowns. That's your 4 teams in the district: Wekiva, Lake Howell, Evans, and Oviedo. That's District 6A6 as the coin toss is now taking place, as you can see.
It was just right on the building on the front side. The tank.
There it goes. Silverhawks have won the toss and have deferred to the second half. That means that the Mustangs will have the opening offensive possession of tonight's game.
So Wekiva, of course, did not play last Friday. That was originally scheduled a game against Jones. That game was moved to November 7th, which is the very last day of the season, regular season for the sport of football, according to the FHSAA.
Yes, really extraordinary circumstances this year. We've lost, I think, out of all the games we've played at home, this is the first time since, actually, this is the first time we have not been impacted by weather. We did at least manage to finish one game on the night that it started, but this is the first game that we have started on time, and I don't see any meteorological reason to believe we aren't going to get through this without any weather-related interruptions. So, of course, Milton interfered with our schedule earlier in the year.
As did Helene.
Yes, as did Helene, as did just regular good old-fashioned Florida evening thunderstorms. So we're looking forward to getting this one in the books. And to your point, Neil, yeah, it's a 12-week season this year instead of a 11-week season. Still just 10 games limit per team, but a lot of teams need that extra week in order to be able to handle makeup contests. So the FHSAA was accommodating.
And Wekiva's last game, since they did not play Friday, speaking of which was on Monday. And we got the onside kickoff, like Howell with the surprise, and it works. High risk, high reward. And they'll take over 1st and 10 on Wekiva's side of the field as well.
Silverhawks opt for an onside kick to open up the first possession of Week 10, and it looks like they were successful in doing so.
So that loss was to Evans, a 39-22 loss. Really, it was more of a 39-14 loss. Wekiva scoring with roughly a minute remaining. Lake Howell comes in off a 21-13 loss off of Windermere, who really has nothing to do with this game, but just as a side note since it came up, Windermere, a team that is very good in every sport except for football. This year they've turned that around, going independent. They are undefeated heading into their game tonight. But in the meantime, like we said, these two teams winning 3 games between them. It's homecoming and senior night. Stick around at halftime. Of course, there'll be the traditional crowning of the king and queen, as well as the announcement of the homecoming court. As Lake Howell takes over 1st and 10, it'll actually be on their own 49-yard line, not quite in Wekiva territory. Second meeting between these two teams, 31-21 victory by Wekiva in 2013. Look for Shamar Morris, number 0. He is your main cog in the Lake Howell attack. Does not take the ball on that opening run. It'll be about 1-yard gain as they try to blast it through the right side. And actually 2 yards.
So, yeah, Neil, Wekiva's got the ball here, so that onside kick was not successful.
Oh, okay.
So that was a loss of 2 for Wekiva, not a gain of 2 for Lake Howell.
Okay, so Wekiva at 2nd and 12. Jackson Keeler takes the ball. Snap incomplete. Bit on the low side. So they'll be facing 3rd and 12 right out of the chute.
Pass is intended for number 4, Jabari Smith, and it falls incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd and 12 for the Mustangs.
So Wekiva in his traditional one-back set as Smith lines up in the wing position, slot position, 2 receivers actually. 3 in the backfield. All of them are receivers, and now Keeler under pressure throws, finds his man, and that's Michael Ellis. Nice job of completing that pass, but it will be short. There is a flag coming in as the play came to an end.
Pass complete to Ellis. And that will be short of first down yardage, but there is a late flag on the play.
So the play took the ball up to the 43-yard line. So that's a 9-yard completion, and now the ref picks up the flag.
Personal foul called against the Mustang offense. That'll be a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul and a replay of third down. So, Neil, that's actually a choice worth considering for the Lake Howell coach. You can either have third down and really long or fourth down and short, and they opt for third down and long.
So the ball is now all the way back on the Wekiva 40-yard line. Need to get to the 39, so you're looking at third and 21. Now Wekiva goes to his more traditional look with trips up top. And Keeler under pressure escapes. How's he getting out of there? But he hasn't been able to throw. Lake Howell doing a good job of containing him. And incomplete. A lot of action in that backfield for an incomplete pass.
Pass intended for Smith. Ultimately falls incomplete. And that will bring up 4th and 20 for the Mustangs.
So all things considered, the play could have been much more disastrous for Wekiva. Keeler avoiding a sack of about 10 yards with some fancy footwork. And they'll now go for the punt. .10:36, first quarter. I'm Neil Fisher. The other voice you hear is Mark Barchi, who's also the public address announcer. Thank you for joining us on this Friday night.
High snap over his head. And wow, actually manages to get the punt off.
Takes a Wekiva bounce. Tremendous Wekiva bounce, about 12 yards. And
after a rough
George
snap,
Phillips.
the Mustangs recover and get the punt all the way out to the 22-yard line of Silverhawk territory. And Neil, boy, that...
And George Phillips, the punter, talk about adjusting on the fly. So Lake Howell will take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line. And as I said, during the first possession, which again, I apologize, thought Lake Howell had recovered the onside kickoff. Look for Shamir Morris, the number 0, the 5'10", 175-pound junior. He's listed as a wide receiver, quarterback, but he is just their main ball carrier. And we begin it trying to blast through that right side. And that was actually number 1, DeCorey Johnson, taking the opening kickoff, or the opening play.
Johnson on a carry for a gain of 6 yards. That takes the ball up to the 29-yard line.
And so Johnson, their number 1A option. Both your running backs, Morris and Johnson, averaging 5.7 yards per carry. A 58 to 42 rush to pass ratio. And now they flip it ahead and motion. And they'll gain a couple more yards, Lake Howell. And that was...
carry by number 8, Braylon Patterson. And that puts the ball near first down yardage.
So the first third down attempt to convert it into a first down. No, actually it is a first down.
And it is ruled a first down on the field. That puts the ball at the 33-yard line for a pickup of 4.
So the first down of the ball game. And of course, Lake Howell running out of a spread offense. And certainly nothing like we saw last week against Evans in terms of the pace. Evans, two Mondays ago, as the backfield's empty, and now the quarterback, Barhorst, takes it himself, trying to power ahead.
QB keeper by Luke Barhorst for a pickup of 1 yard. That'll bring up 2nd and 9 for the Silverhawks from their own 34-yard line.
Mentioned when we played Evans last 2 Mondays ago, even for a no-huddle offense, the pace was dizzying. Lake Howell, as you see, they went no-huddle this time, but not nearly anything like the pace that Evans was starting, as I believe that was Morris trying to find a hole on that right side going behind his guard and tackle.
Morris on the carry.
So the first carry for Morris.
No gain on the play. It's still 3rd down and 9 for the Silverhawks.
So mention Morris, the leading ball carrier, but leading rusher. 304 yards, 53 carries, again 5.7 yards per carry. As a team, Lake Howell has gained an average of 109 yards rushing and 94 passing. So very balanced offense in terms of production, although again 58-42 in favor of the rush. And now Barhorse drops back, finds his man. A nice route by DeCorey Johnson and another first down for Lake Howell catching the ball along that right sideline.
Luke Barhorst on the pass to DeCorey Johnson. Stop made by Jabari Smith, and it's enough for a Silverhawk first down. That puts the ball at the 46-yard line for a gain of 12 on the completion.
And now Lake Howell threatening to move the ball into Mustang territory, Wekiva territory, for the first time tonight in its first opportunity. Barhorse lines Lake Howell up again. And they're going with a somewhat unique offense, the 2-back set. And we won't get the play off. Penalty.
Flag on the play. Dead ball prior to the snap. Offsides called against the Mustang defense. That's 5-yard donation to the Silverhawk cause and a replay of first down.
So it'll bring up 1st and 5 and does move the ball to Wekiva territory for the first time tonight, 1 for 1 in terms of opportunities. And the second penalty of the game, only 5 minutes in for Wekiva, and now a whistle.
It's not quite time for the water break yet, so I think it's a substitution that didn't quite get there in time.
So Lake Howell lines up again. Mentioned Luke Barhorse, number 9, the quarterback, comes in with a rating of 111, completing 46 out of 73 passes, 11.6 yards per completion, 88.8 per game. Odd motion there by Morris, but they hand it off, misdirection, and it'll be right call, right time as another first down is gained, slashing through that right side of the offensive line.
Hand off to DeCorey Johnson, the stop made by Jabari Smith, and that is good for a pickup of 8 yards, and it's enough for a Silverhawk first down at the 41-yard line of Mustang territory.
So remember, Lake Howell needing only 5 yards to gain a first down after the Wekiva penalty. 3 first downs now for Lake Howell on their first possession. And a matchup between two teams that have had a long season. Lake Howell coming in 1-7, Wekiva 2-8. And now we got motion Johnson in the whistle.
Flag on the play. Encroachment called against the Mustang defense. Another 5-yard penalty and a replay of first down.
Deja vu, Mark. Haven't I dreamed that 5-yard dead ball penalty?
Yeah, you and I talk about penalties that cause coaches to tear their hair out. Those dead ball penalties, and especially two of the same problem on the same drive. That's got to be frustrating. Pass is deflected. I believe that was David Reese, the senior, who just got recognized on senior night, getting a chunk of that one. So that pass deflected by Reese falls incomplete, and that will bring up 2nd and 5 for the Silverhawks.
That's the first time tonight that we've seen Wekiva really come up with a play forcing the action. 2nd and 5 now from the Wekiva 36. Unbalanced formation, everybody on the right side except for your one receiver down low. The handoff, nope, it's a quarterback keeper, the draw, and Barhorse consumed by the defensive line right away.
Barhorst on the QB keep. Taken down by the Mustangs, Isaiah McNish. Loss of 1 on the play. That puts the ball at the 37-yard line for 3rd and 6.
So another 3rd down being faced by Lake Howell. Only their second of this possession. They started at their own 23. We got motion. Dropping back is Barhorst. Can't avoid the second wave, and down he goes. The sack.
Barhorst is sacked by the Mustangs. Number 34, that's Isaiah McNish. That pulls the ball back to the 44-yard line for a loss of 7, brings up 4th and 13.
And Lake Howell's going to go for it. Of course, we talk about this often. Lake Howell now in no man's land, so to speak. Punt doesn't really do you any. Well, they are going to punt it.
Parker Lewis back to punt.
And Jabari Smith decides to go for it. And not sure if he touched it or not. Lake Howell picked it up as if he did. And no. The ref ruled no touch by Jabari Smith, the deep man for Wekiva. So again, not sure exactly what Jabari Smith was thinking. Of course, remember, we are not down on the ground. We do not have spotters up here. So it's not the easiest view for us, for me and Mark Barchi. I'm Neil Fisher. But certainly from our viewpoint, it at least looked like that was a get away from the ball situation.
Yeah, we had an officials conference there, I think, to really determine what was going on. And
Now
we're going to get illegal procedure is called against the kicking team. So Silverhawks called on the penalty marker there.
Okay, so the punt didn't matter anyway. That's a dead ball foul, so the play never took place.
Yeah, I mean, I never saw anybody put their arms up in the air, so I don't know. I mean, that was, for what it was worth, that was, Malik Wilkerson of the Silverhawks kicking team that had the heads-up play there and potentially would have been into the end zone for the touchdown.
I was going to say, give the Lake Howell special teams credit. You keep playing until the whistle.
Yeah, so Wilkerson had that, and the world may never know whether that play was dead before it was started, so it didn't really matter whether that would have been a touchdown, whether Jabari Smith ever touched the ball. Doesn't really matter. It's 5 yards from the previous spot, and they're going to kick it again.
So
the guy was going to try to do a little bit better this time.
No score, 4:30 remaining first quarter. A battle between two teams who have had long seasons, 3 victories combined. Both these teams could certainly use a victory, gain some momentum. Of course, for Wekiva, it's homecoming and senior night, so it add an extra layer of special.
Yeah, and it's also middle school band night. I call tonight Everything Everywhere All at Once night.
Yes. The only
There's all the
missing,
special events.
All we're missing is an airdrop.
Yes. All the special events that were supposed to happen earlier in the season have gotten pushed to tonight.
And this time, pretty much the same action, although it's about 30 yards further up the field.
Well, Wekiva will take the field position any way they can get it.
Yep.
The ball is downed at the 25-yard line, and the Mustangs will take over from there with 1st and 10.
And now we get a break for the water break.
We have reached the midpoint of the first quarter, actually passed it by a minute and a half, and so we'll pause for our first official timeout. We remind you to stay with us as we get to halftime here at Mustang Field. We are going to be celebrating a lot. It's middle school band night, so we want to welcome our friends from Piedmont Lakes, Lockhart, Ocoee. Welcome to Mustang Field, and we look forward to having you on our Mustang Marching Band in the next couple of years. And we will be, of course, celebrating our homecoming festivities during halftime. Lake Howell was not able to join us with their marching band tonight, so homecoming festivities will take the place of the visitor halftime show, and then Wekiva will be performing their halftime show in that second half of the halftime period. Back to live action. And the Mustangs with their first touch of this offensive series. A little bit of a screen action going on there. Some room on the outside for Jabari Smith. Jabari Smith on the carry. The stop made by Sean Kelly. And it's enough to move the chains for Mustang. First down. This time going up the other side and just as effective. It's Naeem Willard on the screen, and back-to-back first downs for the Mustang offense. Takes the ball close to midfield, puts it at the 48-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Jabari Smith will move the chains once again for the Mustangs. Back-to-back-to-back first down action in 3 out of the last 4 plays. That puts the ball at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, Wekiva. Looking for options, and he's got one right up the middle. Apologies for the late camera work there. Pass is complete to number 18, Xavier McMurrin, and the Mustangs are inside the red zone for a first down. 1st and goal from the 10. Screen pass to Willard. And he is stopped short of the goal line, but does get some good forward progress. Willard on the carry, that's good for a pickup of 8. It brings up 2nd and goal from the 2. Two minutes, 15 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Mustangs looking to get on the board. Penalty marker down. Dead ball prior to the snap. False start. Called against the Mustang offense. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot and a replay of 2nd down. Now 2nd and goal from the 7. So the Mustangs looking to regroup here. So far, everything has come up roses on this possession except for that play. So the dead ball penalty halts the momentum a little bit, but the Mustangs still in striking distance. Kaler takes the snap. Got a man inside, and there it is. The pass is complete to Naeem Willard for the Mustang. Touchdown! Fritchley's kick is good, and so the Mustangs take a 1-0 lead with 1 minute, 36 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Thanks for your patience with the radio silence. I am your announcer, your social media updater, your camera operator, and your director tonight. So we appreciate your patience while we got social media updated with the score. And now Lake Howell takes over with their next offensive possession, and we got a 16-car pileup coming up at the 20-yard line, and it looks like that one is not going anywhere. No gain on the first play of the drive. In fact, a loss of 1. It brings up 2nd and 11 for the Silverhawks. Ball on their own 19-yard line. There's the snap. A little diagonal action, and the pass is complete. From Luke Barhorse to DeCorey Johnson. That puts the ball at the 26-yard line for a pickup of 7 on the play. It brings up 3rd and 4 for the Silverhawks. Silverhawks running up the middle. Ball is spotted at the 29-yard line. And that takes us to the end of the first quarter. It'll be 4th and 2 once we switch sides and get back to live action here at Mustang Field. Homecoming week, senior night, middle school band night, and anything else you can think of to celebrate, all happening here in week 10 of season 18. At this time, we'd like to invite anyone who is participating in tonight's homecoming festivities as a member of the homecoming court. Make your way down to the gate, the track gate next to the football concession stand. Again, the track gate next to the concession stand. Please meet there now if you are participating in tonight's homecoming festivities. First snap of the second quarter comes up, and it was 4th and 2, but now the Silverhawks break through, getting some yardage after the initial stop. Looked like it was number 1, DeCorey Johnson, on a long run, and we've got a late penalty marker on the play after what would provisionally be a first down into Mustang territory. We'll go to referee Darrell Royal for the call. Illegal block in the back is called against the Silverhawks. That'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still enough for a first down, but not nearly the yardage that was originally posted. After we add the yardage and then subtract the penalty, the ball ends up at the 47-yard line of Silverhawk territory. They continue their drive there with 1st and 10. Snap to Barhorst. And he's going to take it himself right up the middle. Finds a hole in the Mustang defense, and it looks like he's got about 10 or 11 yards, probably enough to move the chains. Barhorst on the QB keeper. George Phillips on the stop. That's a pickup to the 41-yard line of Mustang territory. That's a 12-yard gain, and it's enough for a Silverhawk first down. 11 minutes, 11 seconds remaining here in the second quarter on what I'm calling Everything Everywhere All at Once night. It is middle school band night. It is senior night. It is homecoming night, and probably something else being celebrated by somebody somewhere. We'll go up the middle again. A little extra room to run. That was DeCorey Johnson on the carry, threading the needle through the Mustang defense and getting down inside the 30 to the 25, make it the 23-yard line. An 18-yard pickup on that carry, 1st and 10, Silverhawks. So far, these last two possessions, neither team being particularly effective on defense. Wekiva cut through. I want to apologize for the interruption in our live stream there. Our computer spontaneously crashed and restarted. So we are getting the settings dialed back in right now. And for those of you on the NFHS network, want to welcome you back. We apologize for the interruption. What you missed was Wekiva had a couple of great defensive plays in a row that pushed the Silverhawks back to what would have been 4th and 17, but then got a personal foul chop block penalty that put him right back in it. Then one more first down is now set up 2nd and goal as we get a timeout called by the Silverhawks. Of course, the computer won't crash during a timeout. It only crashes during a live ball, so we appreciate your patience. As we've got the ball now at the 2-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal when we come back from the timeout. Little lineup switch here, a little chicanery going on. One. And that is DeCorey Johnson into the end zone for a 2-yard Silverhawk touchdown. And now it looks like going no huddle for a 2-point conversion. Here comes that same deceptive trick. Well, I guess it worked for the touchdown. Why not? And it looks like they will kick it after all. Maybe they were just feeling out Wekiva's defense to see what they were going to get. Kick is up. And good. And the PAT by Parker is good. That ties the game 7-7 with 7 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Jabari Smith on the run back for the Mustangs. And that will put Wekiva with pretty decent field position at their own 38-yard line. Make it 39, 1st and 10. Those of you watching on the NFHS Network, we want to apologize for the service interruption there. We had a computer crash that we had to recover from, and so thanks for your patience. What you missed was a 2-yard to Corey Johnson touchdown for Lake Howell, so we are tied at 7-7. So the penalty in Wekiva's favor makes it 1st and 5 from their own 44. Handoff to Naeem Willard. That advances the ball 1 yard to the 45, and it brings up 3rd and 4 for the Mustangs. QB keeper for Jackson Kaler. That's around the right corner. And it is close to first down yardage. It is just short of the first down marker at the 48-yard line, and so that will bring up 4th and 1 for Wekiva as we pass the midpoint of the second quarter. So look for an official timeout to happen the next time there's a major break in play. They usually won't interrupt a drive that's at a point like this, but now we got a penalty marker on the field. Go to Darryl. Substitution infraction is called against the Mustangs. That's 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. And a replay of 4th down. So, of course, there's a huge difference between 4th and 1 and 4th and 6. But that is what Wekiva will face now. Kaler has a man, and that should be enough. Pass is complete to Naeem Willard for a pickup of about 7 yards, and a Mustang first down. And now we'll pause for that water break. 5 minutes, 35 seconds remaining in the second quarter. As we head toward the last 5 minutes of this half and get ready to head into our halftime festivities.
So Wekiva with their first down, new life, and they will go back to work on the Lake Howell 49-yard line, a 7-7 score. Wekiva trying to get into halftime with a lead, and the run, they swing it around to the right side. It'll be a first down, motoring down that right sideline. Down to the 39-yard line, a 10-yard gain. So 1st and 10 at the Lake Howell 39. And there's also a penalty as well.
Flag on the play. Horse collar is called against Lake Howell. That's 15-yard penalty. First down, Mustangs.
And that will put the ball at the Lake Howell 24 as we approach 5 minutes before halftime. Of course, stick around. Homecoming, the tradition of introducing the homecoming court as well as the king and queen. Mark Barchi, my partner and public address announcer, handles those. Meantime, that's Woolard taking the pass. A little juke, a little jive, doesn't get him very far.
Naeem Willard on the carry. There is a penalty marker at the end of the play.
So see what the penalty is. Seven score, 4:55 now before halftime. And penalty is against Lake Howell.
Personal foul, face mask called against the Silverhawks. That'll be half the distance to the goal. And it is enough for a Mustang first down.
And that puts the ball at the Lake Howell 11-yard line. Another 1st and 10 for Wekiva. Their 5th on this possession. Out of the one-back set, Keeler goes to the air, looks left. Now he's going to run, and down he goes. Great job by the Lake Howell defense. The initial attack breaking through as soon as the ball was snapped, and then they did a good job of containing him. So that'll bring up 2nd and 13, a 3-yard loss for Keeler. Again,
Keeler's
really
taken down for a 5-yard loss. And Neil, if you're Coach Morris, those 2 back-to-back personal foul penalties have got to just kill you.
Yeah. And to be honest, both teams have done that. Lake Howell, of course, was on the move. Wekiva made 2 consecutive penalties as well, which giving them first downs, and ultimately they tied the score at 7-7. So now from the 16-yard line, the throw incomplete, no flags. That was a clean play by that secondary. Keeler trying to get the quick pass in.
Pass
Willard
intended for Michael Ellis falls incomplete, and that will now bring up 3rd and 15 for the Mustangs. And I apologize if we got a post in the way of the camera here. We are a little short-staffed tonight, so I am running the camera from inside the press box, and I am running out of real estate here.
About 200 fans in the stadium tonight. Once again, it is homecoming as well as senior night and middle school band night. Certainly, you can feel that in the air as Smith goes in motion, one back set. Keeler under duress again, now switches gears, goes left. Throws, finds his man, that's Ellis. A hop, a skip, and he dragged a couple would-be defenders with him. Not sure if it's enough for a first down. They need to get to the 2.
Pass is complete from Keeler to Ellis. It is close to the goal line.
And Lake Howell's running off the field like it was not a touchdown.
Now we have an officials conference. You can barely see it where the camera can't reach.
3:31 before halftime. 7-7 score. So as you just heard Mark say, the officials are having a conference. They haven't even bricked up the ball and spotted. Now they're going to. There's also a flag on the play. Did not see that until just now.
There's a flag on the play.
Around the 12-yard line, the laundry was thrown.
And we see Wekiva coaching staff having a discussion here with the officials. That can either be good news or bad news. Either the official is explaining what your team did wrong or asking you whether you want to accept the penalty. So that could go either way when the official's having a chat with the coach.
And it is against Wekiva. See the first down markers being moved as well as the refs now taking the trot. And they're going to place the ball at the Wekiva 35-yard line. So
unsportsmanlike conduct is called against the Mustangs. It appears that there was a fumble in the end zone that was recovered by Lake Howell, and then a touchback, which would have put the ball at the 20-yard line. Then you add 15 yards to the end of the play for the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and that means it is now Lake Howell's possession at their own 35-yard line.
Okay, you guys got that down there, everyone? As Barhorse goes back, throws, incomplete.
So, Neil, that went from about as good as it could have gone to about as bad as it could have gone.
Yeah. And as you said, it's now certainly living up to tonight in the sense of we have every event going on. That play had everything that could happen.
It was in my blind spot, and I didn't want to say it out loud because I didn't want to jinx it, but I could have sworn I saw one of those officials make a touchback signal, and it turns out that's exactly what it was.
So 7-7 score. Now 3:27 before halftime. Pair of teams with 3 wins combined. This is also, we haven't mentioned this tonight, but this is for third place in District 6A6. Obviously, that's not going to get either of these teams into the playoffs, but certainly that's better than finishing last in the 4-team district as the ball's smacked down, breaking through that offensive line.
That's Jamar Watkins on the deflection, and the pass from Barhorst falls incomplete.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 10 for Lake Howell. And I guess if Wekiva can hold for one more play, I guess that's at least the good news coming out of that disastrous ending.
While you were away taking photos for the Chief, Neil, I was just saying that both of these teams had poor defensive possessions in a row. First, Wekiva cut through Lake Howell's defense like a soft cheese, and then they returned the favor. And so now this would be the first really impressive display of defense that we've seen from either team all night if Wekiva can hold this to no positive yardage on this drive.
Defense that showed some type of stiffness and a backbone. And really, even on the possessions that both defensive stopped the offense, it was more of the offensive mistakes, self-inflicted wounds, as coaches like to say, than anything the defense did. I will say this, I don't think really the defenses have done anything that have really put them in deep holes. Maybe just a couple of plays for both of them.
And now we have another officials conference here with the Wekiva coaching staff, and I see Coach Biaggi coming on to the field and talking. I think this may have something to do with personnel getting too close to the sideline, far away from the play. So that's a warning the first time it happens.
So also to finish my thought, Mark, again, defenses really haven't done anything that have been self-inflicted, just a couple of plays, but they really have not shown any stiffness. They haven't really done anything that's prevented the offenses from having their way either up until now. And so now 3rd and 10 for Lake Howell. Barhorse lines his team up in that 2-back set. Now Johnson in motion, drops back, pressure on, and down goes Barhorse. Offensive line collapsing almost immediately. And so 3 consecutive plays in which Wekiva's defense.
Marcellus Reese, Isaiah McNish, and Gabriel Prochet all in on the stop there with the sack, and that pulls the ball back to the 28-yard line for a loss of 7, brings up 4th and 17. So there you go, Neil. Best defense we've seen from either team all night. And it almost makes you not feel so awful about what happened on the previous offensive drive.
And as I said, the first time tonight we've seen really either defense was 3 consecutive plays. And now Smith tracking that ball down, takes a hop, get out of the way. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Wekiva at zone 22, 2:25 before halftime.
Yeah, a couple of guys were trying to win an Oscar there, but there are no penalty markers on that play. And so it's just downed by contact. Ball is spotted off the punt at the 22-yard line of Mustang territory. Wekiva takes over from there with 1st and 10.
7-7 score. Of course, again, this is for 3rd place in District 6A6. Excuse me, 6A4. Both these teams losing to Oviedo and Evans. They're playing tonight for sole possession. Well, actually, it would be for 1st place. As now Jackson Keeler lines the Mustangs up. 1 back set. Goes to the pass after the play action. Finds his man. That's Willard. Some shake and bake, some juke and jive. And a solid gain on 1st down. Looks like it's going to be almost 9 yards.
Willard on the completion. That puts the ball at the 30-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the completion, and that brings up 2nd and 2 for Wekiva.
So as you heard Mark Barchi, who's my partner as well as PA dress announcer, say, it's an 8-yard gain, sets up 2nd and short. And they go to that bunch formation. No wide receivers up top. Got a slot receiver, 1 down low, wide. Back to the pass. Keeler under pressure. He slips and probably would have been sacked anyway. So now that'll bring up 3rd in mid-range. Wekiva with an opportunity to have a 3rd and short play.
Keeler is taken down by Jaden Milburn after the QB keeper. And that will put the ball at the 25-yard line of Mustang territory. Brings up 3rd and 7.
So what could have been 2nd and short, even if Keeler's able to just fall forward, you're looking at 3rd and 2, but instead now 3rd and 7. 7-7 score, 1 minute before halftime. Opportunity for Wekiva to take control going into halftime, get some momentum. Got a ways to go, but they have possession as Keeler tries to do it himself on the run. A hop, skip. Motors along that right sideline, and he does get the 1st down, plus about 5 yards.
Keeler on the QB keep, and it's enough for a Mustang 1st down.
So Keeler showing his footwork. And now, if nothing else, that should at least prevent Lake Howell from getting possession and score before halftime. We're going to get a timeout.
We'll pause here for a Mustang timeout. Wekiva calls their first timeout of the 1st half. With 48 seconds left on the clock, they'll have 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line when we come back from the break.
So officially a 13-yard gain.
And it occurs to me this is probably about the time I need to open up my top secret email with the results of the homecoming vote.
Yeah. We are 48 seconds away from halftime, 7-7. Wekiva and Lake Howell. Wekiva, the home team, in the maroon jerseys. Lake Howell, the away team, in the white.
I don't know, Neil. It's dark, but I'm almost certain they're wearing navy tonight.
Dark jerseys, let's say it that way. 1st and 10 for Wekiva. They just picked up a 1st down on the feet of Jackson Keeler, and we see a repeat. I believe he got out of bounds this time.
Jackson Keeler on The QB keeper for the Mustangs pushed out of bounds by Milburn. That's good for a pickup of 6 yards.
Okay, so not quite as far as I thought, but it is still solid on first down. That'll leave 2nd and 4. And as I said before the half, worst case scenario now, Wekiva should not have to give up the ball before halftime, going 7-7. See if they can drive it down and at least get a field goal attempt as Keeler steps up and throws the ball in front of his intended receiver. Had a lot of pressure around him. Looked like that was Takevius Davis, the intended receiver.
Pass falls incomplete, and that will bring up 3rd and a long 4, maybe a short 5 for the Mustangs. 35 seconds to go here in the second quarter. And again, a reminder that Lake Howell's band was not able to join us tonight, but we are going to have our homecoming festivities at halftime, and then the Mustang marching band will take the field for the second half of halftime.
So Keeler, again, one back set, goes to that short side up top, does find his man, and I believe that's a first down. And we'll get a penalty
marker on the play.
So now the advantage of that penalty, at least from the Wekiva perspective, is that the clock stops. They didn't have to get out of bounds. Again, we don't have spotters here, so anything that goes up on that top side, it's not the easiest view for us to see. It is a completed pass.
After the play, personal foul called against the Silverhawks. That'll be a 15-yard penalty from the end of the play, and it's a Mustang first down. So yeah, Neil, hard to say whether that was that would have been a first down on its own merits, but it certainly is after the penalty. Puts the ball into Silverhawk territory at the 40-yard line.
And Keeler drops back, now steps up. Nice job stepping up, finds his man, and he's not going to be able to gain anything. It's Jabari Smith.
Pass complete to Jabari Smith and taken down, touchdown likely saved in the secondary by Eddie Almonte. Mustangs into the red zone with a first down.
Ball down at the 12-yard line, so officially a 27-yard completion. And a timeout with 16 seconds remaining. Wekiva threatening to take that lead. It's currently 7-7 from Mustang Field.
The Mustangs request their second timeout of the first half. The Silverhawks request their second timeout of the first half. And we'll pause with 16 seconds remaining. 7-7 Mustangs in the red zone at the 12-yard line. 1st and 10 when we come back.
(7-7) from Mustang Field with just 16 seconds before halftime. Of course, stick around for halftime. It's homecoming, which means we'll get the traditional ceremony, the announcement of the homecoming court, as well as the crowning of the king and queen. In the meantime, though, Wekiva definitely in field goal territory. A touchdown would be even better. And we're looking now at 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line right before halftime. 7-7 score. Jackson Keeler out of the shotgun as he has all season. A one-back set. They haven't seen a lot of runs as Keeler whips that ball in, and good defense. Couldn't quite see who, but there were 3 members of that secondary.
Jabari Smith, the intended receiver. Defensive coverage in the secondary provided by Eddie Almonte. And that will bring up 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs.
So, of course, the good news from the Wekiva perspective is even though you don't complete the pass, the clock does stop. And by the way,
11 seconds, probably enough to get off at least 2 more plays, never mind the downs anymore.
Well, you got 2. You can get a first down without the touchdown. The ball's at the 12. Now Keeler runs right, rolls right, under pressure. Running out of room, throws, and that was overthrown. And that was probably in Keeler's mind more of a live to fight another day pass than necessarily
pass
trying
intended
to
for
complete.
Ellison is high and out of reach. That'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Mustangs. Yeah, I mean, Neil, if we've learned anything from the last possession, just do anything other than a turnover.
And so I want to go back here, too. 1, 2, 3, 4 plays ago, that was when Lake Howell committed the unsportsmanlike penalty after a completed pass for Wekiva. Things moved pretty quick, but upon further review, having a few seconds during the break, it was actually only a 2-yard completion. So Wekiva's
flag on the play, holding, called against the Mustang offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul and a replay of 3rd down.
So Wekiva would not have had that first down. The ball was actually at the 46, but then, of course, the 15-yard penalty gave Wekiva new life, continued the possession, and now, of course, as soon as I say that, we find out that Wekiva gets called for the holding penalty, almost returning
And here,
the
there's
favor.
no reason not to take it because the down doesn't matter. There's 3 seconds left. Doesn't matter if it's 2nd down, 3rd down, 17th down. Doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, and the holding penalty now forces Wekiva into the field goal attempt from the 22-yard line?
Yeah,
no
rule that says it has to be 4th down for you to kick a field goal. You can field goal anytime you want.
Well, it is actually 4th down. But
Lake Howell requests their final timeout of the first half. 3 seconds remaining, and the Mustangs are lined up with 4th and 21, where they are prepared to kick the field goal when we return from the break. And then don't forget, halftime homecoming festivities coming up next. Yeah, Neil, I'm getting a signal here. The chain gain had it wrong. It is 3rd down because the down does not advance on a holding call.
Oh, okay.
It's an all-volunteer crew. We appreciate what they do.
So 3 seconds remaining before halftime for Mustang Field. This will obviously be the last play before halftime. Quick reminder, it is homecoming, the announcement of the court crowning of the king and queen. Nate Fritchley, in the meantime, on to attempt a 40-yard field goal to give Wekiva the lead heading into halftime. And this was set up by the penalty, holding penalty, dropping the ball back 10 yards. Snap, ball down, kick up, and is wide left. And so
Fritchley's kick
Wekiva,
is wide left. The field goal attempt is no good. Time expires on the first half, and we are going into the locker rooms all tied up. 7-7 is your score at halftime.
and so a first half between two teams with only 3 wins combined, fighting it out for 3rd place in District 6A4, pretty much resembles the entire season, what could have been, should have been. In the meantime, Wekiva and Lake Howell go in tied at 7-all. Stick around, though. It is homecoming, and my partner, Mark Barchi, will be DJing Master of Ceremony, the halftime celebration.
Indeed. So we will give our cheerleaders and our homecoming court participants an opportunity to take the field and get in position. We now invite you to turn your attention to midfield as the Wekiva High School Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps serves as marshals along with our Student Government Association presenting your 2025 Homecoming Court. We'll begin with our senior homecoming court. And we'll start with Jabari Smith and Chelsea Johnson. Jabari would like to thank his family and friends for their support, but most importantly, God. He says, I hope to become a pro football player and then become a coach. Chelsea Johnson would like to thank firstly God, my family, and my friends for their support. She says, I aspire to be a labor and delivery nurse. Next up for the senior court, Gavin Goings and Michaela Akers. Gavin's favorite activities are spending time with family and shooting pool. After high school, he plans to attend Orange Technical College to become a diesel mechanic. Michaela Akers would like to thank her family and friends, and of course God. She would love to pursue her master's degree at Duke University and become a labor and delivery nurse. Our next pair of seniors, George Phillips and Micaiah Blackman. George Phillips is a starting safety for the football team. He aspires to get his degree in sports medicine and matriculate to the National Football League. Micaiah Blackman would like to thank her family and friends for supporting her and pushing her out of her comfort zone. She hopes to major in journalism and digital media. And now we also introduce our princes and princesses of the junior court, beginning with Ashley Tuzay and Dylan Bass. Ashley Tuzay would like to thank her cousin Manu, her cousin Gigi, her campaign team, the media center teacher Ms. Groom, and everyone who voted for her. But she says, most importantly, I want to give honor to God. I truly wouldn't be sane without my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He kept me demure, cutesy, and classy. I want to be an entrepreneur and realtor. Dylan Bass aspires to be a rich man, and that's all you need to know, he says. Our next pair of junior princes and princesses, we have Kylian Keynes and Noah Shriver. Kylian is the junior class president. She wants to attend Florida Memorial University, and she aspires to become a social worker. Noah Shriver aspires to be a commendable person and a collegiate wrestler. And finally, for the junior class, Soraya Hicks and Tyson Mathis. Soraya is a Wekiva varsity cheerleader. She loves to cheer. Her second passion is running track. Soraya also aspires to be a veterinarian when she graduates. Tyson's passion is basketball, and he is part of the Wekiva basketball team. His goal is to attend the University of Florida to be an orthopedic surgeon. Once again, let's give it up for our junior court. Ashley Tuzay, Dylan Bass, Kylian Gaines, Noah Shriver, Soraya Hicks, and Tyson Mathis. And our senior court, Jabari Smith, Chelsea Johnson, Gavin Goings, Michaela Akers, George Phillips, and Micaiah Blackman. And now it is time to crown your Wekiva High School Homecoming 2024-25 Prince and Princess and King and Queen. We will start. We'll save the most dramatic for last. We'll start with the juniors. Your 2025 homecoming prince is Tyson Mathis. And your 24-25 homecoming princess for the junior class, Ashley Tuzay. And now we turn your attention to the right side of the field where we've got some hardware to hand out for the senior class of 2025. Your senior homecoming king is George Phillips. And finally, your class of 2025 homecoming queen is Michaela Akers.
Oh, good. The homecoming king has a date to the dance.
Good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, and now, the moment that you all have been waiting for. Homecoming 2024. Welcome home, Mustangs. Welcome home. We'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to our fellow and future Mustangs from Piedmont Middle School on our annual band night. We'd also like to say thank you and welcome home to all alumni here. And now, Jordan Wheeler, David Maldonado, this field belongs to you. And now, from 2501 Hiawassee Road in the beautiful city of Apopka, Florida, please welcome the band that everyone wishes they could be a part of. I give you the fabulous, fantastic, marvelous, wonderful, superior, most televised, and most hated band in Orange County, Florida. I bring to you the Wekiva High School Mighty Marching Mustang Band. We'd like to say thank you and pay tribute to Breast Cancer Awareness Month as you see the band with their pink shirts. And now, the band will perform for you music from New World Symphony, Africano, and In the Stone. We would like to also celebrate the Wekiva High School Marching Band. As they have been selected to participate in the 2025-2026 Sugar Bowl Invitational Parade and Battle of Bands in New Orleans, Louisiana. And when it comes to great bands, here it is, right here before your eyes. And now, the band will play for you. Can someone say Bruno Mars? Superior at its best. And now the band play for you, Champagne Life by Neo. Any questions? We'd like to pay tribute to the artist known as Usher, who performed at the 2024 Super Bowl. Somewhere there may be another band that can outperform the mighty marching Mustang band, but not in this lifetime, and definitely not here at Wekiva. We'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to everyone that's here. The Wekiva High School Marching Mustang Band is under the direction of the maestro, Mr. John T. Petty. Assistant Director of the band and color guard, Mr. McKee. Miss Nicole Knight, Assistant Director of Color Guard. Miss Jeanne Brown, Assistant Director of Color Guard. Mr. Mark, Director of Percussion. Mr. DJ, Director of Percussion. Mr. David Maldonado, Head Drum Major. And Jordan Willer, Assistant Drum Major. This has been another Mighty Marching Mustang Productions. Signing off, and we are out.
Welcome into the press box. Again, the off-camera voice you hear is me, Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs. Neil Fisher is here with me from the Apopka Chief. And Neil, something of an up and down on both sides of the ball for sure there in the first half. A lot of defensive, a little bit of shakiness to get out, and And then finally, we saw some solid defense as we got toward the end of the half, but the Mustangs just unable to capitalize. Mistakes at key moments between the fumble in the end zone and then the subsequent holding penalty really just robbed Wekiva of the opportunity to seize the momentum going into halftime.
Yeah, Mark, as we mentioned, or I mentioned throughout that first half, this is a battle for third place in District 6A6. Lake Howell coming in with a 1-7 record. Wekiva slightly better with 2 wins and 5 losses. 3 wins combined between the two of them. Certainly, it's been a long season for both these teams. Both these coaches, first-year coaches at their respective programs. Dazzy Morris at Lake Howell is his first year as a head coach overall. Doug Gabriel is first year at Wekiva. And it's pretty much gone the way that you just summarized it. And you can really say what you just said for both teams, and both teams what you would expect. Both these teams have had opportunities, certainly to, at the very least, go in with a 1-touchdown lead at halftime. Neither able to turn them into actual touchdowns. Both of them making a lot of mistakes. Both of the touchdowns were capped off long possessions, 80 yards, 13 plays, 6 minutes, 36 seconds for Lake Howell. That was a Johnson 1-yard TD with 7 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Wekiva moving the ball 75 yards on 7 plays. They only need 2 minutes, 43 seconds. A Keeler to Woolard 7-yard pass, 1:36 remaining in the first quarter. But both of those drives were sustained by defensive penalties. And the penalty totals are just what you would expect if you were watching that first half, the eye test. 8 penalties, 75 yards for Wekiva, 7 penalties, 80 yards for Lake Howell. So you're looking at 150 yards in penalty to 160 as we get ready for this second half. Actually, we get started with the second half. Lake Howell will receive it. And good job on special teams taking down the return man quickly and efficiently. And so they will line back up. Lake Howell, that is, looking to take the lead for the first time tonight. Again, Wekiva scoring first, a 7-yard Keeler to Woolard pass, 1:36 remaining first quarter. And then the answer from Lake Howell, a Johnson 1-yard plunge, 7 minutes in the second quarter. And the ball is at the 19-yard line, the Lake Howell 19-yard line.
As you'll recall from the beginning of the game, the Silverhawks won the toss and deferred to the second half, so they have the first offensive possession here of the third quarter. We also want to let our fans here in the stadium know that the band has a trip that leaves at 4 o'clock in the morning, so they are going to bug out at the end of the third quarter. So if you're looking for concessions from the concession stand, you need to be picking those up now. This is last call for concessions. They'll be closing at the end of the third quarter.
And Lake Howell begins the first half, or second half, the way that you would expect them to, with a rush, short yardage, 1-yard gain. I believe that was Johnson carrying it, and we also got a stoppage now, both teams going to their respective sidelines, or at least Lake Howell is.
Yeah, I saw the official signal for a stoppage.
Standing on the left hash mark. So total yards, before we get too deep into this, Wekiva, this is where you could say Wekiva had the better opportunity to take the lead. At the very least, going to halftime, 169 yards total, 146 through the air, which is something of a diversion from what you were used to, as now another short yard rush up the middle. 146 passing, 12 of 19 for Jackson Keeler, 23 on the ground, 19 yards, 19 pass attempts to only 7 attempts on the ground. Lake Howell, and this is why I say they're doing exactly what you expect, with 2 rushes to start the second half. 107 yards total, 89 of that coming through rushes, only 18 through the air, 18 rushing attempts compared to 6. So 3rd and long for Lake Howell, first possession of the second half. And they'll try once again, sweeping across that left side, looking good. And we got something really big down that right hash mark at the 40, the 30, and finally ridden out of bounds all the way down at the 28-yard line. And that was Javon Funny on the misdirection, the 5'10" sophomore wide receiver.
Funny on the carry. Smith on the stop, likely saving the touchdown for Wekiva, but a big gain on the play, and that takes the ball all the way from the 22-yard line of Silverhawk territory to the 29-yard line of Mustang territory. Let's see, that's 21 plus 13 is, that's 34-yard gain on the play.
Oh, 58.
You get 58, Neil? I trust you. I'm not good at
adding
in public.
This is Johnson going on that sweep around to the right side. Looks like it's coming back, though. The ref's throwing that flag right there on that right hash mark.
Corey Johnson on the carry. There is a penalty marker in the backfield.
Yeah, that previous play, Funyie on that misdirection.
Holding called against the Silverhawk offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. No, excuse me. This is high school. I believe, keep me honest here, holding is a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot in high school? Yes, in most cases it is.
No, it's from where the penalty.
I'm giving you NFL rules here. Anyway, regardless, that spots the ball at the 39-yard line and brings up 1st and 20.
Yeah, and it is 10 yards from where the ball.
Well, in high school, it's from the spot, or from the previous spot. In professional, it's from the spot of the foul. A lot of times it ends up being about the same anyway because holding has a tendency to happen at the line of scrimmage.
So that carry, long rush by Funyie, now that we've had a couple seconds to add it up, it was 51 yards officially. And another penalty, this one, second consecutive penalty on Lake Howell. And as I said, 15 penalties committed between the two teams. So this has been as much about a penalty, a competition penalties, as it has been the actual score and moving the ball. Another 5 yards, as you like to say, Mark, contributed to the Wekiva cause. Move the ball back to the Lake Howell 44.
I don't see defensive delay of game very often.
As we get another sweep. That's number 22, Wilkerson, carrying the leather, doing a nice job to get back close to the original line of scrimmage. Good blocking up front and on that left side.
Wilkerson on the carry. That puts the ball at the 33-yard line.
So an 11-yard gain. Like Howell needs to get down to the Wekiva 18, so 2nd and 15. Straight up the middle, now a little shift to the right. And he meets a horde of Mustangs who dump him. And let's see who was carrying that.
Javon Funyie on the carry.
So Funyie with his second carry, and he gets the ball back up to the 26. So another 7 yards, and that'll bring up
Smith and Watkins were in on the stop, among others. That spots the ball at the 26-yard line. It's a pickup of 7. It brings up 3rd and 7.
7-7 score halfway through the third quarter, and there we see that shift that Lake Howell likes to go to into a two-back set. It's Johnson out of the Wildcat, and he's immediately taken down. Nowhere to go. All the gaps covered immediately by that D-line, and he might have even lost a yard. It might have also taken him out of field goal range.
To Corey Johnson on the Wildcat snap, and that is going to be a loss of 3 yards on the play. It brings the ball back to the 29-yard line.
So now that definitely takes them out of field goal range as well. Nope, they are going to try the field goal.
4th and 10 coming up.
So you're looking at a 46-yarder. That's on the longer side for high school. Lucas Parker, the 5'11" sophomore, will be kicking. Snap, ball down, kick up, and hits the crossbar, bounces to the right. No good. We remain 7-7.
46-yard field goal attempt is no good off the crossbar to the right, and so the score remains 7-7 with 6 minutes 36 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
So both these teams dodging the proverbial bullets as the defenses force the offense into longer field goal attempts, which were no good because of those extra yards on third down lost. And Wekiva takes over, still tied at 7-7, 6:36, third quarter. And no play, whistle before.
Probably a good thing, too, because Kaler was not ready for that snap. Dead ball, encroachment called against the Silverhawks defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot and a replay of first down.
And the penalties continue, Mark.
And, Neil, I think the Silverhawks have got to be feeling some frustration here because they have squandered a number of opportunities on penalties over the course of this game.
Yeah, right now, both these teams have squandered it, as I said at the beginning of the second half, as we get yet another penalty.
Flag on the play.
But right now, as far as the momentum of penalties on the negative side, it's Lake Howell.
Dead ball prior to the snap. False start called against the Mustang offense. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. And if we have a math teacher in the house who could help me, 20 plus 5 minus 5, I believe, is 20. So back to 1st and 10.
So a lot of whistles for nothing. As Keeler drops back, finds his man Smith crossing across the field, breaks off a couple tackles, and continues to motor ahead for about another 7 yards up close to midfield, 48.
Jabari Smith on the carry and
exact.
breaking through to midfield nearly.
So that's a 28-yard gain for Wekiva.
Ball spotted at the 48-yard line, and it's good for a Mustang. First down.
So Wekiva back to work. Empty backfield now. They go to 5 receivers. Trips on the near side. 2 up high. Keeler drops back 2 steps. Steps up. Takes it himself along that right hash mark. And spurts ahead for another first down into Lake Howell territory.
Kaler on the QB keep is finally pushed out of bounds by the Silverhawks. That was number 44, Oliveira, or perhaps Milburn, on the push out. That's enough for a Mustang. First down.
Ball officially marked at the 42-yard line of Lake Howell. So that will be a 10-yard gain.
Yep.
As Mark just said, just enough. And stay with the same formation, empty backfield, plenty of time for Keeler. Finds his man right over the middle on a stop and go. That'll be a first down, about 20 yards. And was that Smith who caught it? Or
Michael Ellis on the catch. Shamar Morris on the stop in the secondary, but not before the Mustangs pick up their 3rd consecutive first down. And we have now passed the midpoint of the third quarter, and so we will pause for an official timeout.
So
7-7 the score, 5 minutes, 42 seconds remaining in the third quarter here on Middle School Band Night, Homecoming Night, Senior Night. It's Everything Everywhere All at Once night, and the Mustangs will have 1st and 10 at the edge of the red zone when we come back.
And back to live action from Mustang Field. 7-7, 5:42 remaining. Mustangs, Wekiva Mustangs celebrating homecoming, senior night, band night for middle school with the opportunity to break that 7-7 tie. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. And just as soon as I said, well, not quite, Keeler slip sliding the defense. He's going to turn up field and make a strong first down gain.
Jackson Kaler on sack. The QB keeper. And that is going to be near first down yardage. Neil, I got to say, Kaler, the last couple of plays, I was sure it was going to be a passing play.
Well, as I called it, I said he was about to go down.
We telegraphed it that way. Lake Howell read it that way, but then they left Kaler open to take the QB keep. That's good, smart heads-up play by Kaler.
Actually, Keeler did get a first down. The ball's right at the 10-yard line.
4 consecutive first downs for the Mustangs, and it's 1st and goal from the 10.
Actually, I believe that's the 9, since the ball was at the 19, and they'll go back to the run, and nothing doing there. One of the few times they've run tonight.
Keller again on the carry. Minimal gain on the play.
That'll bring up 2nd goal from, I believe, the 8 now. Give Keeler a 1-yard gain. So again, mention that Wekiva has predominantly gone to the air, 19 pass attempts, 7 rushing, and only 2 been taken by someone other than Keeler in that first half, and that was Smith, and that's continued. Yet to see anyone other than Keeler rushing the ball in this possession, the first of the second half for Wekiva. They go with the one-back set, stacked on the top side receivers, and Keeler again rolling right. And the short pass out of bounds, a live to fight another day pass. So that'll bring up
Kaler
3rd and
looking
goal.
for Demetrius Ellison will throw the ball away, and that'll bring up 3rd and goal for the Mustangs from right about the 10-yard line.
7-7, 4.5 minutes remaining, 3rd quarter. Battle for 3rd place in District 6A4. Perhaps more importantly, a pair of teams who have 3 wins between themselves, an opportunity to gain some momentum, to put together some type of blueprint for the future. Obviously, neither team's going to finish over 500 this year. Both these teams on the younger side as Keeler takes the snap on 3rd down, and he goes down as well. A horde of Lake Howell defensive linemen breaking through, and Keeler nowhere to go, couldn't even really throw that ball, couldn't see out of the backfield.
Almonte, Olivar, and Milburn in on the stop, and Kaler is taken down with no gain. In fact, a loss on the play.
Yeah, it's a pretty big loss, Mark. I believe he's out almost by the 20.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to mark it about the 18, we'll say. So a loss of 8 on that sack.
Loss of 10, actually. And they're not going to go for the field goal on 4th down. Got to get it into the end zone. It's 4th and goal. One back set, 4 receivers in. Good opportunity. No pressure this time. Now the defense gets in and sacks Keeler a 2nd consecutive time.
Keeler
There's
goes
a
down
penalty
in a
as
sack
well.
with Javon Funye on the stop. However, there is a penalty marker on the play.
There's the call. It's against Wekiva.
Holding called against the Mustangs. That penalty is declined, and the result of the play is over on downs. Well, Neil, for as much as we were criticizing defense in the first half, they seem to have figured it out at halftime.
Yeah, through the first 2 possessions, although I guess you could say in terms of momentum and being able to have something to move on moving forward, as the ball is at the 20, so it's a 2-yard loss. That favors Lake Howell as their defense came up with snuffed out a scoring opportunity for Wekiva. And it also took away Wekiva's field position advantage as well. Although now that I think back, Wekiva had the better scoring opportunity. Both teams did get the ball inside the red zone. What Lake Howell, though, wound up close to the 30.
As we pass the 3-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter, we want to remind you this is last call for concessions. The band has a 4 o'clock call time tomorrow morning for a trip, and so they are going to be closing up a little early tonight. If you have a spot in your tummy for something yummy, head to the band concession stand now before they close at the end of the 3rd quarter.
And in the meantime, Lake Howell continues to try to slam that ball, sludge it through the Wekiva defense. 2 carries, and they've actually gained 1 yard. So looking at 3rd and 9 from their own 21-yard line. 7-7 as we approach the end of the third quarter. Lake Howell with possession in the white jerseys. The away team, Wekiva, in the color kind of cross between blue and maroon. Very dark blue and maroon. On defense, the home team. The snap, throw, bounces off. That's Johnson out of the backfield. Bounces off 2, maybe even 3 defenders, but too short a pass to get him up with the first down, about 5 yards gained. Nice job by Barhorse to get that to him, but of course, that's the play you want to get on first down, not third down.
Silverhawks get the ball up to about the 27-yard line for a gain of 5. That brings up 4th and a long 3, short 4 for the Silverhawks.
And they haven't sent the punting team in, and yeah, they're going to go for the first down, try to convert 3rd and 4th and 3.
I can't say that surprises me out of a team that started the game with an onside kick.
Well, they've also won 1 game, so that's why you're seeing these. And nope, they're not attempting to draw the offsides. They do throw the ball, and it is a first down, just enough, going to that left sideline, a button hook.
Pass complete to Shamar Morris, and that is enough for the Silverhawks' first down. So they do convert the 4th down, move the chains, and the fresh set of downs will start from their own 32-yard line.
So when the game started, I mentioned Shamir Morris was their leading ball carrier in terms of the number as well as the total. And we've only called his name a couple of times tonight. But that, of course, important as the ball goes wide on the snap. And there's a cough, I guess you could say. There's a oops moment just when Lake Howell had built some momentum.
Ball is fumbled, but it is recovered for the Silverhawks by Malik Wilkerson. And so Lake Howell will remain in possession of the ball, but it will cost them 12 yards. It pulls the ball back to the 20-yard line and brings up 2nd and 22.
So as I mentioned at halftime, I mean, we've been seeing those kind of plays all night. Every time it looks like one team might be in a position to gain control of this game, start to enforce their will, the big mistake. Although that's the first fumble for Lake Howell, and now
pass is intended for number 22, Malik Wilkerson. Looked like the Mustangs may have gotten a piece of it and batted it into the air, and it falls incomplete. So that will bring up 3rd and 22. But first, we're going to switch sides. We have reached the end of the third quarter. 12 minutes left to play, and it's a new ball game. 7-7 is your score going into the last period of play here on homecoming night, senior night, middle school band night, and anything else you may want to celebrate. All coming in tonight here on week 10 of season 18 at Mustang Field. Orlando Health Jewett Orthopedic Institute is honored to be on the sidelines tonight. On the field and off, we provide a full spectrum of orthopedic services in a multitude of specialties and subspecialties, from hip, knee, and shoulder experts to orthopedic traumatology and more. Offering proven leading-edge techniques and technologies, Orlando Health Jewett Orthopedic Institute provides patients world-class personalized care from a number of convenient locations throughout Central Florida. We're proud to feature Florida's first dedicated orthopedic hospital. Learn more at orlandohealth.com/ortho. Orlando Health, choose well.
And the fourth quarter about to begin. Out of the shotgun, Barhorse drops back, curve wavy ball, but he's gotten tipped at the line. Regardless, it's an incomplete pass, and that'll bring up 4th and 22.
Pass intended for DeCorey Johnson is batted away by the Mustangs. That's number 17, which is a blank line on my roster.
Actually, I have Xavier Gates.
Xavier Gates. That's what Max Prep says, and they can't put it on Max Preps if it isn't true.
So now it's 4th and 22, and see if Coach Morris decides to go for it. Actually, no, there's a penalty. And that's going to, so it's not going to be 4th and 22. That looks like a 15-yarder as well.
Personal foul, helmet contact is called against the Mustang defense. That'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Most importantly, that's an automatic first down. Takes the ball to the late
No. You're thinking of NFL, Neil. There's no such thing as an automatic first down in high school. But it also it does mean that the down does not advance. So that still gives the Silverhawks a spark of life here as it puts the ball up to the 35.
And now Barhorse throws that out of bounds. That was Hulk getting a hand, one of the seniors we celebrated before the game tonight. Wouldn't have mattered, though. It was out of bounds, and Wekiva.
Pass is thrown away. It'll bring up 4th and 7, and it looks like the Silverhawks will bring out the punting unit. So, yeah, Neil, I mean, 4th and 7, definitely not the severe situation that 4th and 22 would have been.
Yeah, and they're also much further down the field as well. Now, don't be surprised. You might. I don't think they will, but certainly fake punt is not out of the realm of possibility. Evans did. We've seen a couple fake punts this year.
It is. You called it.
And they will not get it. Well.
And the punt is faked. Instead, it's a handoff to DeCorey Johnson, and we'll look at the spot. It's down near the 40-yard line. And the ball is spotted at the 41-yard line. The line to gain was the 42, so that turns the ball over on downs to the Mustangs.
So Lake Howell, again, that's their third, actually maybe even 4th if you include the first down, trying to convert 4th down into first down. They've rolled the dice, so to speak, an onside kick.
So now Wekiva with excellent field position in a tie ball game. 11 minutes, 42 seconds left to play. First snap of the possession, a little screen flick. Ball is flicked to Mike Blackman. Makes his first completion of the night, and that will pull the ball as he is pushed out of bounds.
It looks like they're going to, well, he was pushed out at the 41, but as you can see, there's a Wekiva penalty as the refs are moving backwards.
Holding is called against the offense, so it doesn't matter where he was pushed out of bounds. That's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Now 1st and 20.
Ball back at the Wekiva 49. And as you heard my partner and public address announcer Mark Barchi say, it's 1st and 20. Just 36 seconds into the 4th quarter and a 7-7 score.
Oh, look, it's the same
as
play.
Blackman takes the ball, swings around that right side and motors up ahead. Some good yardage there on first down. He'll get back to close to the original line of scrimmage.
Mike Blackman on the carry for the Mustangs. That will put the ball at the 41-yard line back in Silverhawk territory, and it brings up 2nd and 10. So Blackman puts right what once went wrong. And now Kaler looking for an option. It's a little anemic on the throw, and Woolard is not able to get back there in time. Pass intended for Woolard falls incomplete. It brings up 3rd and 10.
And that carry for Blackman 2 plays ago, which got the team back close to the original line of scrimmage, only his 4th carry tonight. That's a bit of a surprise, as I mentioned at halftime. Just overall, looking from the team stats, 19 pass attempts compared to 7 rushing. That a big surprise if you follow Wekiva football throughout the season. Keeler now drops back, blindside ball comes loose. It was recovered by one of the linemen, but he goes down immediately, and that's going to do it for this possession, most likely.
And the ball is fumbled, but Don Ehrenreich makes the recovery for the Mustangs. There is a penalty marker on the play.
Let's see. third fumble of the game for Wekiva. And we got a stoppage. 7-7, 10:40 remaining in the fourth quarter from Mustang Field.
Penalty flag is waved off, so the play goes down as originally called, and it ended up being a gain of 1 yard after the fumble. So that puts the ball at the 40, and it'll be 4th and 9.
So Coach Gabriel is going to roll the dice. He's not going to go with the punt.
Yeah, this is no man's land.
And throw over the middle, caught by Woolard on the slash to the inside, cuts it back to the left.
Naeem
Gains
Woolard
about 5 more.
has the Mustang first down. 4th down conversion from Kaler to Woolard, and that puts the ball at the 24-yard line for a pickup of 16 on the completion. 1st and 10, Wekiva.
So Wekiva back in business, threatening to take the lead. They've had 2 other opportunities. See if third time's a charm as the ball swung out on the pitch. That's Blackman, and he's dropped once he crosses the line of scrimmage. It'll be no gain.
Mike Blackman on the carry. The stop is made by Eddie Almonte, and that'll be a pickup of 3 yards on the play. Takes the ball to the 21-yard line for 2nd and 7.
Okay, so a 3-yard gain does give him some movement forward as they go to the 2-back set and movement. Of course, both linemen are pointing at the other team.
Dead ball prior to the snap. Encroachment called against the Silverhawk defense. That's 5-yard donation to the Mustang cause and a replay of 2nd down.
Most importantly, it now makes it 2nd and 2. Ball up to the 16. So an opportunity can pretty much open up the playbook on 2nd and 2.
Again, the Silverhawks with penalties, particularly dead ball penalties.
Well, both teams have.
That's true. Although
Again, 15 penalties at halftime committed by both, and I don't really think just the eye test that slowed down any. Out of the 1-back set, Keeler looks left, throws it to Blackman, now carrying the ball as a receiver, slashes through, he's hit in the chest,
Ball's
ball comes loose. And yes, it's Lake Howell ball, and for the 3rd time tonight, Wekiva unable to convert inside the red zone.
Blackman
Score
has the
remains
completion,
7-7.
but it is number 13, Ethan Joseph, that recovers a loose ball inside the 5-yard line. So for the 2nd time tonight, the Mustangs turn the ball over next to the goal line, and the Silverhawks will take over with 1st and 10 from their own 3.
So the 4th fumble of the game, 3rd time they've been inside the red zone without scoring. And that just takes us back to the one we saw in the first half when they fumbled the ball in the end zone. And as you said, it went from as good as possible from the Wekiva perspective to as disastrous as possible. So the good news, though, is that the ball is at the Lake Howell 2-yard line as they continue to slosh it up the middle. And that slosh turns into a spurt. Number 5, that's Luis Eddie Almonte, busting through.
Johnson on the carry for the Silverhawks, and that will spot the ball at the 16-yard line.
So a 14-yard gain, and it at least gets Lake Howell out of the shadow of its own end zone. As they go back to work, the 1-back set, that's Johnson handing it off now, lining up as the quarterback. And just falling forward for 2, maybe 3 yards. 7-7, 8.5 minutes remaining. 4th quarter.
Wildcat snap to Johnson, who then makes the handoff for a pickup of 4 yards. That puts the ball at the 20-yard line. 2nd and 6.
Who ran that? It's Wilkerson. So 2nd and 6 for Lake Howell, now with some more breathing room. And just as he's about to go down, Barhorse gets rid of that ball. Good secondary coverage on the fly route right over the middle of the field, crossing over the W.
Pass intended for Smith falls incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Silverhawks.
And just want to also make an announcement. You made it at halftime, of course, Mark. But since the band is marching in front of us, they are now exiting literally stage left, at least from our left.
Yes.
Because they will be competing in a competition tomorrow at Bethune-Cookman. So let's wish them the best of luck. They'll have to be leaving at 4 in the morning. In the meantime, that's Barhorse taking the ball, juking, jiving, wheeling through, and he'll have a first down. Excuse me, that's actually Funye now.
Yeah, Funye
out of the Wildcat formation.
Takes the handoff off the Wildcat from Johnson, and that will take the ball up to the 32-yard line for a Silverhawk first down and pickup of 12.
So at least, I guess you could say the one good benefit Wekiva got from fumbling that ball at the 2-yard line is Lake Howell's gotten a couple of first downs, and they're still 68 yards from a touchdown. It's a long way to go after recovering that ball. And now Johnson takes it, slides off that left, and he continues to wheel and motor.
DeCorey Johnson on the carry.
Pick up good yardage on first down, about 5 yards. As we drop under 7 minutes. 7-7
Ball is
ball
spotted at
game.
the 39-yard line for a pickup of 7. That'll bring up 2nd and 3 for the Silverhawks.
So a couple more yards than it originally paired. And that's really the advantage when you start getting forward and get a shoulder on the defense as the running back. You're going to fall forward for a couple of yardage. Now back in that multiple back set using the H-back. Wilkerson in motion. The snap goes back to the up back, and he's buried at the line of scrimmage. The defensive line reading that play from the minute the ball was snapped.
Javon Funnier on the carry. No movement on that play. It brings up 3rd and 3 for the Silverhawks from their own 39-yard line.
Who ran it?
So now we pass the 6-minute mark, so look for the officials to call the final water break probably the next time we get either a first down or a change of possession.
Yeah, now we're seeing Lake Howell going to a lot of the guys to carry the ball we didn't see in that first half, and they're doing it out of the Wildcat. There's Johnson. He gets that first down, a couple of stutter steps, a juke and a jive as he wheels his way along that right side of the field.
DeCorey Johnson on the carry. That will pull the ball up to the 45-yard line. That's a gain of 6 on the carry. And that'll be a first down for the Silverhawks.
It looked like Johnson avoided, I'd say, at least half a dozen would-be tacklers.
And we have reached the midpoint of the 4th quarter. And so that means we will pause for our final official timeout. 5 minutes, 33 seconds remaining in the ball game. 7-7. We're all knotted up, and we are headed for a photo finish here at Mustang Field as we get ready to wrap up Week 10 of Season 18.
Those of you here in the stadium, we want to remind you that we are headed into the last 5 minutes and change of game time, and so we are going to go ahead and assume that this game is going to not go to overtime. And so we would appreciate it if you could call your ride and let them know, if you are depending on a ride to get home from tonight's game, that they should be on their way to pick you up. And our administrators appreciate your help getting the facility closed promptly after the conclusion of tonight's game so that they can get home to their families.
And in the meantime, we get back to live action as Lake Howell has moved the ball from its own 2-yard line out to its 45, 1st and 10. About 200 fans in attendance on pretty much everything you can imagine. As the snap, there's a flag immediately. No gain, whoever ran that.
Penalty marker down.
It is senior night, homecoming, coronation of the court and the king and queen, as well as middle school band night.
Hey, it was my mom's birthday this week, so happy birthday, Mom.
Okay.
We're celebrating everything tonight.
course, these two teams looking to take some of the pain out of what's been a long season. Lake Howell 1-7 coming off
Dead
a
ball.
loss.
False start called against the Silverhawk offense. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot and a replay of first down.
Lake Howell coming off a 41-18, a loss to Windermere last week. Wekiva coming off a loss to Evans 2 Mondays ago. They were supposed to play Jones last Friday, but that game was rescheduled till November 7th. And now Lake Howell looking at a 1st and 15 from their own 39-yard line. Going to something of a passing formation. Haven't seen that often, but they stay on the ground. And as Funyeh trying to surge ahead, power through that left side of the offensive line. He'll gain maybe a yard.
Funyeh on the carry, picks up, say, 2.5. That puts the ball at the 43-yard line. Brings up second and a long 12.
So now you could be also looking at the situation. Dazzy Morris, of course, the Apopka alumni, member of the offensive line on the 2012 state championship team. He could be simply thinking, let's hold on to the ball the rest of the way. In worst case scenario, we'll be going into overtime. As they do not line up any receivers, they go back to that shift with, I think that's 6 men who move on that. Still, though, they stay on the ground. Funyeh slips off a couple of tackles at the original line of scrimmage and tiptoes his way ahead. Gained about 7 yards, and he'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Funyeh on the carry. A stop made by Willard. That pulls the ball right up to midfield. Gain of 7 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5.
So a key play for both these teams. Like I just said, if you're Lake Howell, you get this first down, you're in a good position to keep running the clock out and take the game into overtime. Worst case scenario, if Wekiva, you want that ball back. And it looks like Wekiva is going to win this battle. Nowhere to go.
Johnson on the carry. George Phillips is the primary point of contact for the stop. And there will be no gain on that play. The ball stays right where it was, and it becomes 4th and 5 from midfield.
And now Coach Morris, it's his turn to make the call on the chess match side.
And we'll have a stoppage here as we get a timeout called by Wekiva. Mustangs will spend their first timeout of the second half. 3 minutes, 8 seconds remaining, still tied up, 7-7 as we head toward a photo finish. Mustangs Silverhawks, Week 10 of Season 18 from Mustang Field. We'd like to invite everyone to join us for the remainder of the Mustang season. We want to remind you that we do have a schedule change. That Jones game that was supposed to be played last week is now in the newly created and authorized Week 12. That's right, a 12-week season this year, authorized by the FHSAA due to all the schedule disruptions. So we will, of course, have the Apopka game on November 1st as originally scheduled. That's the Mayor's Cup, hosted right here at Wekiva. And then Jones will be at Jones on November 7th to wrap up the season.
4th and 5 for Lake Howell right at midfield against Wekiva. 7-7, and down goes Barhorse. Nowhere to go from the blind side. And
Barhorse is sacked. It looked like Jamar Watkins, among others, was in on that. And so that will pull the ball back and bring up 4th down for the Silverhawks. So whatever...
First down. Turnover.
Correction, that will turn the ball over on downs from 4th down to the Mustangs, and that puts the ball at the 40-yard line, and that sack resulting in a loss of 10 on the play.
Yeah, so Mark, not only is it a turnover on downs, but you just said Wekiva also gets the added benefit of moving the ball 10 yards closer to the end zone.
Yeah, so whatever Coach said in that timeout, it was well worth what he spent on it.
3:04, Wekiva now it's Wekiva's turn to take the lead, maybe even win this game. Certainly in territory where they could run out the clock. Looking for their 3rd win of the season out of the one-back set, 2 receivers each side. Keeler's going to run, And he'll gain 4 yards on first down and make that another 19.
Taylor on the
Late
QB
flag.
keep stop made by Corpondas.
Flag came out as soon as Keeler crossed the sidelines.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get preemptive here, but when you see flags
does-
like that, you start to think late hit or something like that.
That's 99% of the time. In that situation, it's a late hit or a horse collar. Maybe 90%
All
of
right,
the time.
well, let's go to Darrell Royal. Dead ball, personal foul is called against the Silverhawks. And that is a 15-yard penalty from the end of the play, and it's a Mustang first down.
And that might be the biggest play penalty of the game. As we mentioned, both teams combined had 15 penalties in the first half. I'd say they're at least 25. But this penalty is the most important because we're now under 3 minutes, and that takes the ball all the way down to the 21-yard line of Lake Howell with only 2:55 remaining. Keeler going left, throws, short pass, flags come out again. It was completed.
Pass is
Smith.
complete to Jabari Smith, and there is a penalty marker on the play. At this point, Neil, I think I might save myself some breath if I just announce when there isn't a penalty marker on the play. Holding called against the Mustang offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, and a replay of first down. So one way or the other, whether you're Wekiva or whether you're Lake Howell, somebody is going to escape from this game with a W. The
Yeah,
other team
that
isn't,
ties-
but either way, there's some teachable moments coming out of this game.
Yes, and hopefully there'll be teachable moments taken into next year.
Low snap, Kaler handles it, looking for an opportunity, going long, it's tipped, and falls incomplete.
We'll bring up
Pass
second.
intended for Jabari Smith is knocked away in the end zone by Glenn Nieves, and that will bring up 2nd and 20 for the Mustangs.
So a field goal now, you're looking at 47 yards. Of course, Nate Fritchley, the kicker, one of the seniors honored tonight. If you didn't get a chance to watch the senior ceremony, it is available on YouTube TV. It's a different stream altogether, but you can go back and watch it. Fritchley,
Well, it's just
That's
regular
not-
YouTube, not YouTube TV. We're
Excuse
not
me,
that
YouTube. Excuse
we're not
me,
that
YouTube.
important, Neil. We don't have ESPN.
Fritchley has yet to kick a 47-yarder. He has kicked a couple 40-yarders this season. Coach Gabriel says he can go that far.
Wrapped
And
up, gets rid of it,
Keeler
and the
gets
play
rid of
has
it.
new life.
That was Pipkin in the right place, right area, and he just slided and motored and surged
Lawrence
ahead.
Pipkin Jr. saves a play that was headed for a sack. Roberts finally has the stop, and so that pulls the ball down inside the 15-yard line.
Down to the 13 to be exact, a 17-yard gain. And now with 2:10 remaining, Wekiva back in business. It is 3rd down, but only 7 to go. Jackson shrugs off a would-be sack, throws into the corner, caught by George Phillips. That's Ellison catching it, tiptoeing on the right sideline.
Pass is caught by Lawrence Pipkin Jr., and that is at the 2-yard line to bring up 1st and goal for the Mustangs.
So Wekiva with his 4th opportunity inside the red zone, and now with only 1:57 remaining. Certainly could make it a happy homecoming, senior night and middle school band. And that's McNish taking the ball. Wildcat, he's going to take it himself. Lowers the shoulder and pounds his way into the end zone.
McNish on the carry, and he is into the end zone for Mustang. Touchdown!
So the 4th time is the charm inside that red zone. 1:54 remaining, 13-7, PAT pending. Nate Fritchley is out. On the field, Keeler will be holding. So now Wekiva's defense has got to hold Lake Howell for 114 more seconds. 1:54. Ball down, snap, ball down, kick up, and a 14-7 lead with 1:54 remaining from Mustang Field. So what has been a sloppy game, a game of what could have, should have been, as you would expect, two teams with only 3 wins combined between them. Wekiva now in position to get its 3rd victory of the season, scoring with 1:54 remaining. 150. So the defense has to come up with one more stop as Fritchley kicks it off. Taken at the 10-yard line. That's Roberts trying to go up the middle. Defense down quickly. Shoots the special teams down quickly. Avoids the first way, but can't
Penalty
get
marker
out
on the
second.
play.
So that last drive, of course, Lake Howell, Coach Morris rolling the dice on 4th and 5, trying to go for it. They lose 10 yards. Wekiva takes over at the 40-yard line. They move it to 40 yards in 6 plays. And it's McNish pounding his way in behind the right side of the offensive line from 2
Block
yards
in the back
out.
called against the Silverhawks receiving team. That'll be half the distance to the goal. First down, Lake Howell.
Isaiah McNish doing the final 2 yards, carrying the ball the final 2 yards, as Lake Howell will be facing 1st and 10 at their own 5-yard line. Bowling in behind the right guard. And now with 1:44 remaining, Wekiva could start counting it down. Even a couple first downs, though. Lake Howell still has a long way to go. As Barhorse from the end zone finds his man over the middle on the crossing route. And it's Jabari Smith with the tackle, but not before the ball's advanced all the way out to the 39-yard line. And just when I said a couple first downs don't really hurt Lake Howell because they have to go hurt Wekiva because Lake Howell has to go 95 yards, they pick up 34 yards.
We'll pause here for an injury timeout as the receiver is slow to get up.
Still waiting to see who that receiver is.
That is Javon Funye on the reception and is shaken up on the play as he makes his way off with the assistance from the Silverhawks athletic training team. That was a pickup to the 38-yard line. So that's more than enough for a Silverhawks first down. The stop was made and perhaps a touchdown saved by Jabari Smith of the Mustangs secondary. 1st and 10, Silverhawks from their own 38-yard line.
So Funye will have to set out at least one play.
Buck and a half remaining on the clock.
That's the rule, sit out one play, and that is a big loss for Lake Howell. Funye has certainly made his presence felt in this second half. I don't believe he touched the ball in the first half.
Now keep in mind the Silverhawks have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, so they have clock management options available, and we got a
short
tangle
pass
up here.
to Wilkerson.
Passes complete to Wilkerson, and stop made quickly by the Mustangs. That is a pickup of 2 yards to the 40-yard line. 2nd and 8 coming up now for the Silverhawks.
Coach Morris, Lake Howell decide not to use their timeouts as we drop under 50 seconds. Barhorse drops back. Now under pressure, pocket collapse, rolls right, throws, and finds his man along that right sideline. A tiptoe reception.
Pass is caught by Wilkerson.
Put the
And
ball in Wekiva territory as well.
Looks like Wilkerson stayed in bounds.
Well, the clock is stopped. 14-7, Wekiva with the lead.
As I should have clarified, stayed in bounds to make the catch, but then went out. But we do have a penalty marker on the play as well, because that seems to be the theme tonight.
Wekiva taking the lead with 1:54 remaining, a 40-yard drive, 6 plays. Isaiah McNash powering the ball into the end zone from 2 yards out. Wekiva looking for its 3rd victory of the season. Lake Howell looking for its 2nd. It's been a long season for both these teams.
So provisionally, the ball's at the 50-yard line, which would be enough for a first down if it stands.
And it is going to stand.
Yeah, I'm assuming that I swear I saw a penalty marker on the grass there, so I'm okay.
So now
the flag was waved off.
So now the Wekiva
picked
defense
up.
has 35 seconds to hold Lake Howell out of that end zone in 50 yards. This drive started at the Lake Howell 5-yard line. Of course, it was the subsequent kickoff after what I just told you, Isaiah McNash scoring the go-ahead touchdown with 1:54 remaining, and now we get a timeout. The
Defensive
first
holding
3.
is called against the Mustangs, and we also have a timeout called by the Silverhawks. That's their first timeout of the second half.
Did you say it was a holding penalty?
Defensive holding, yes. But the penalty is declined, though, because it was a first down anyway, and so that does put the ball at midfield. It'll be at the 50-yard line, 1st and 10 Silverhawks when we come back from the timeout. And trailing by 7, 35 seconds left in the ball game.
So Wekiva trying to hold on for a 14-7 victory, 35 seconds from Mustang Field, Wekiva's home field. Isaiah McNish scoring with 1:54 remaining to give Wekiva a 14-7 lead. That was a 2-yard rush. Wekiva looking for its 3rd victory of the season. Lake Howell looking for its 2nd. It's been a game of what could have, should have been, pretty much resembling the entire season. Motion. And now Barhorse drops back out of the one-back set. Under a lot of pressure, he rolls right again. We've seen this a lot. Flag came down as well. And if you follow football, if you don't, Primer 101, that's usually holding when it comes from the back judge. About 90% of the time. 27 seconds remaining now.
Flag on the play. Holding. Called against the Silverhawk offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
And I can't stress enough, of course, you don't need to be the proverbial football guru to understand that is a major, major kick to the gut for Lake Howell.
Yeah, that's
losing
probably
those 10
the
yards.
second most impactful penalty behind the one that put Wekiva into the red zone on the go-ahead drive.
Again, wound up Isaiah McNish scoring what's now the go-ahead touchdown. So first down, but from the Lake Howell 40, and with 27 seconds left, perhaps the distance matters, but more so it matters how many yards you can gain on each play now.
And now the Mustangs will burn their second timeout of the second half. That leaves Lake Howell with 2, Wekiva with 1. 24 seconds to go in the ballgame here on Week 10 from Mustang Field. And we'll be back in a moment.
So Wekiva looking for its third victory of the season. It comes down to the defense now. They only need to hold Lake Howell out of the end zone, prevent him from gaining 60 yards over 24 seconds, as it is officially first down. But again, with 24 seconds remaining, it's more about getting some large chunks of yards on each play, maybe 3, maybe 4 left. Barr Horse completes it. No, intercepted. And you can hear that that's going to do it as the crowd, about 100 fans remaining, cheer on. And with 10 seconds remaining, Wekiva now will take one last snap and go into the locker room.
Intercepted by George Phillips. And that will turn the ball over to the Mustangs with 10 seconds left in the ball game.
So Wekiva will walk off the field in 10 seconds with a 14-7 victory, their third of the season against six losses. Lake Howell will drop to 1-8, and as I said throughout this game, third place on the line. That will now go to Wekiva, District 6A4, and take a little bit of some of the sting of what's been a long season for Wekiva. Looking at their scoring, only 3 touchdowns scored tonight. Wekiva scored the first touchdown. A Keeler to Woolard 7-yard pass, 2:43. First quarter, that was 75 yards, 7 play. Lake Howell answered 80 yards, 13 plays, 6:36. Johnson busting into the end zone, a 1-yard TD with 7 minutes remaining in the second quarter. And then Wekiva on 4th and 10. Coach Morris rolling the dice, the Lake Howell coach. Wekiva came up with a sack, took over at the 40-yard line. They moved the ball 6 yards, 40 yards, scoring with 1:54 remaining. Isaiah McNish, the 2-yard rush, and that made your final score 14-7. And that will do it from Mustang Field. Once again, Wekiva gets its third victory against 6 losses. Lake Howell drops to 1-7. So, Mark, take us to the finish line.
That takes us to the end of the ball game. And it is a 14-7 victory for your Mustangs on senior night, on homecoming night, on middle school band night. We'd like to thank everyone who came out tonight to support your Mustang and Silverhawk athletes. Congratulations once again to our homecoming court, and especially to our king and queen. We'll see everybody at the dance tomorrow night. We'll also see everybody back here coming up in 1 week's time. It's the Mayor's Cup, or as we like to affectionately call it, the Tater Bowl. And that'll be right here at Mustang Field. It's our annual conclusion to the season, although technically it won't conclude the season this year because Jones was moved to the following week. But it is our traditional end cap to the season. Week 11, Mustangs versus the Blue Darters in a crosstown rivalry matchup. That's going to be 7 p.m. next weekend right here at Mustang Field. 7 o'clock kickoff. We hope that you will join us in person. If not, we hope that you will join us online on YouTube or the NFHS network. Those of you here at the stadium, please drive carefully and arrive home safely. Those of you watching online, thanks for tuning in. We hope you'll subscribe before you go. We'll see you next week. Until then, good night from Mustang Field.